Hey guys, Kevin for The Walking Dead, Season 7, Episode 6, Swear, and I was definitely looking forward to this episode. I've been enjoying this season so far, but I really didn't know what this episode was going to be because, as I said, they're really changing the way the show is done. You know, every episode seems like we're focusing on a different group, and that was actually the case with this episode. In fact, I completely forgot about everything that was going on in the storyline, and I will say that while this episode was very slow, I overall did enjoy it. But yeah, I do agree with everyone saying we kind of do need to pick up the pace a bit. The season is going very, very slowly. There's not a ton happening. Well, there's stuff happening, but it's just not really. I think we're focusing on just way too many different groups and things like that we don't necessarily need to be seeing. And this episode, while I think was important, we could have easily gotten this as like a subplot. We didn't really need an entire episode about what was going on here, but let's just get into this episode because basically all this episode focuses on Tara and Heath, two characters who I completely forgot about, to be honest with you, who have been a supply run for I don't know how long. It seems like they've been on the supply run forever, but let's just get into this episode because there is stuff to talk about. I actually really do like the way this episode started. We open up on this beach. There are two women talking. A walker stuck in the sand. A little girl kills the walker, and another woman standing beside her. The girl runs to the walker to kill another, but the woman stops her. It's not a body. It actually is Tara, and the woman says she's still alive. The girl thinks they still have to kill her. She says that they're supposed to kill her and that she wants to, but the woman says no. The girl leaves, saying that she won't help, but that she won't tell anyone. The woman grabs Tara by the arms, drags her away, and right off the bat, I thought it was a really good start to the episode, and we very quickly get caught up with these two. We see an abandoned RV. Heath recalls what they have left. The list includes okra and aspirin. And Tara says they have to find more. And Heath says there's nothing left out there. They don't have enough gas to keep looking. It's been 2 weeks, and he thinks they need to go home. So Tara says they need ammo, and people are counting on them. And Heath remembers what happened at the satellite station, and he questions why they need to do it. He says he now understands that they have to do whatever they have to do so that they can just keep going. And Tara tells him that this isn't who he really is, but he combats it, saying that it's everyone who wants to stay alive. And he says they're going back at the end of the day, even if they only have those rusty cans, and you can tell things are very hard for them. So Tara picks up a gun, and the woman from the beach looks up at the clock and then goes back outside. She makes her way to where she left Tara's body, leaving some water and food beside her. She then leaves her spear before walking away, and Tara wakes up, takes a water bottle. She then peeks out to get a glimpse of the woman. She walked as the woman is crying in the distance. It's evident that Tara wants to play dead for as long as she can, and the woman walks away from her spot and into the woods. Tara follows at a distance, and the woman then approaches a house, and Tara sees two other women walking with baskets of laundry, and as the women enter another building, Tara hides, and some children run out from a house. It's clear that Tara's found another community, which again is something that she didn't really know about, and she sees a guard in the woods, more people tending to a garden. A large group of women and children are sorting and fashioning clothes in the middle of the buildings, and that is something that's cool to see this season, is how many people are still alive they didn't know about. And two of the women open a large armory. The ones with the clothes immediately scatter and grab weapons, and one of the women shoots at Tara, hitting a tree beside her. She runs, the women all shoot after her, and after turning a corner, she disarms one and knocks her out with her own weapon. And when she turns around, the girl from the beach has a gun pointed at her. The girl's about to shoot. And when the woman who saved Tara shows up, all the women show up, and Tara tries to plead her case. A leader emerges from the woman, and Tara offers to leave. So Tara and Heath are getting out of the RV. They're climbing to look over a bridge. They see an abandoned camp, and they decide to explore it. Now, many of the tents and cars are empty, but they don't give up. They know that they did, in fact, see, all these people. And as they get to the other side of the camp, they see a mound of sand behind a truck. She pulls a bag out of the sand, and the mound falls. So walkers crawl out of it to attack, and then she begins shooting at the walkers. Heath does get away, and even though Tara couldn't get away, Heath did run. And that's definitely a big part of what we see here. So Tara's sitting in the room by herself, and a couple of the women enter. She's chained to the wall. The leader then introduced herself as Natania, which I really did like what we saw of this character, definitely. She talks about the area they live in being relatively clear, and asks Tara where she's from. And you can tell that Natania is someone who really does know how to lead this community, and she's kept them very safe, and that's why there are so many of them left, because where they are, this is an area that really has much to worry about except for a couple walkers, but they know how to kill them. And I did like this scene between Tara and Natania. I definitely did like this. She says Atlanta, but that was a long time ago. She says she and her friends have been alone for years. They worked in a fishing boat together. She says they got separated. And she tells the story of her and Heath finding the sandwalkers and says she fell into the river and washed up on the shore. She says she pretended to be out when the women brought her food and she was only sneaking around to see if she was safe because she didn't really know. And she says they need to let her go so she can find her friend. And the first girl's name is Cindy, and Natania says that's her granddaughter. They usually shoot outsiders on sight, but some of the people believe in Tara, and the women are going to think about what to do with her, and they leave. So, in the dark, one of the women lead Tara out of the house. They pass some others. She takes Tara into another building, and Beatrice is waiting with food. Natania's cooking, and she brings out some of it out to the table as Tara sits. She formally introduces Tara and Cindy, and Tara thanks her. The women begin to eat, and Tara's then eating the stew, and Natania says they have an endless supply of fish. They're near the ocean, and they are a fishing community, we find out, and Natania says she wants Tara to stay permanently, that they will even help her find Heath. You know, this is someone that she feels that they need. And Tara asks where all the men are. Natania says that they are all dead, including Cindy's mother and brother. And after that, they decided to kill on sight. And after they found this place they live in, she again tells Tara that they want her to stay. And she calls out Tara for lying about her background, because Tara did not at all tell them that, you know, she knows that Tara is not telling them the full story. Because, you know, we know what really happened to Tara, that she was with the governor and was with Lily and had that girlfriend, but of course she died and everything, and then she ended up basically in Rick's group because she didn't really have another place to go, and she's kind of just arbitrary, you know, it's just been very arbitrary situation for her because that's exactly what it's been. I mean, I've never really felt like Tara's really fit in here, and I think this episode kind of addresses that, and Tara says she's from a community, they have walls, and I like that she finally admits what happens here. You know, she says she has a girlfriend she wants to get back to. Of course, she doesn't know that Denise is dead. She wasn't there to see Denise die, and she tells the story of killing the saviors in the satellite station, proving that she comes from a similar background as the women, and Tara starts convincing the women that their group should join in with Alexandria and that they could all work together. And that's one of the big things about this episode is that Tara, as we know, has no idea of what's actually going on with Alexandria right now. You know, how dangerous things are. She doesn't know about any of that. And they decide to send a guy with Tara to find Heath and explore Alexandria. And Natania won't let Cindy go, even though she wants to. You know, she wants to go with Tara. She wants to explore their community and everything. But Natania, you know, she's built this community. She wants to do what she can to make sure that this community stays, you know, the way it's supposed to be. So I thought overall that was very interesting to see the way it was done. And I did like finding out more about Tara's background. I think this was a pretty good way to show how far Tara's really come. So Natania and Tara are talking before she leaves. The former wishes her luck. Beatrice and Kathy are then leaving with Tara to find Heath. Tara flips off the young girl who wanted to kill her, and the three women walk in the woods. Tara apologized for hitting Beatrice earlier. The women then stop as they see a walker trapped in some vines. Tara volunteers to kill it since she knows how to, and then takes off running. The women shoot at her, chase after her, because again, they were not going to let her go. They were going to let her stay, but Tara wants to get out of there, obviously. Tara hides in a ditch. She draws her knife. She tackles Beatrice as she walks by, and the women fight. Beatrice draws the gun on Tara. She begs to be let go. The woman says all of her people are dead and that the saviors have killed them all. The satellite station was only one outpost, and that's already too late for Alexandria. She realizes the saviors are the ones who killed all of the men, and Beatrice says that the saviors lined up every boy over 10, shot them in the head, and it looks like, you know, we're really starting to get more into the saviors and everything, and that the saviors, they're the ones that have killed everyone, which already is the exact opposite of what Negan really wanted them to do. As we know, Negan wanted the saviors to kill walkers. That's why they're here. You know, we're here to kill walkers. We're here to make sure that walkers aren't a threat anymore. You know, you let us do what we need to do. We'll give you the best life you can possibly have, and now it seems like the saviors, Negan's kind of gone against that now they're killing actual people, and that's a completely different situation than what's been going on, and they were supposed to keep working for Negan, but they ran away, it seems like, and as Beatrice is about to pull the trigger, Cindy tackles her, Tara runs away, Cindy eventually catches up and has a gun drawn on Tara. She makes her swear to never come back and never to tell anyone about what she found, and Cindy explains that no one is to kill anyone anymore, that they will only do it because they decide to forget who they are, and Tara then says that some people are evil, that's why she has to get back, and Cindy Cindy still makes her swear, and she agrees. Cindy hands over a backpack, has Tara follow her, and they get to a bridge, and Cindy says she isn't going to leave until Tara makes it safely to the other side. She's going to shoot, and Tara's going to run across the bridge, and they encounter walkers on the bridge, and a horde of walkers just appear. They jump on top of cars, they try to pass by, but it isn't going to work. Tara's about to get bitten, we see, so Cindy fires a shot to kill the walker, and just as the last shot is fired, Tara does luckily make it through, and it was actually quite an intense scene. I really didn't know she was going to make it through there, but I did like that Cindy, in the end, did kind of let her go. Like, she wanted to make sure that Tara was safe, and we see flashback to when Heath was there. He didn't leave. He tried to fight them off. He made Tara jump off the bridge to save herself. And back in real time, she sees a walker that she thought was Heath, but it wasn't. So we still don't know by the end of this episode if Heath is dead or not. But she sees Cindy being led away by Kathy and Heath's glasses on the road. So I'm going to assume that Heath is dead. But of course, there's that whole, if we didn't see them die, they might not be dead rule. There is, of course, that rule. But as Tara leaves the bridge, she sees the tire marks in the mud leading away from the scene. She investigates, believing that Heath got away, picks up a key card with the letters PPP written on the side. Now, what this means, I don't really know, but I'm sure that's going to have some sort of connection to what's going on. But she leaves the bridge, she wanders through an abandoned boat, and later she's back in the nurse's station with Rosita. Of course, as we know, she was supposed to be in the nurse's station. Now, there's no sort of caught up with what's going on with Rosita. Like, you don't really think that Tara knows what's going on. She learns that Denise has been killed while she was gone. Rosita asks if she found anything on her trip, and Tara says no, so she did in fact keep her promise where she kept Oceanside a secret. She hasn't told anyone about it, and that is the way this episode ends overall. Very interesting stuff, but let's just get into where I think we're going to go from here. So let me just say that while this episode, there's really not a ton to talk about. I understand why this episode was necessary. You know, we didn't really see Tara in a while, so this episode did very well reestablish her. But like I said, we really could have had this in like a subplot. They really did not need to have this entire thing as one episode. They could have easily, you know, made this a subplot and stretched down like a 90-minute episode or something like that. You know, that 90-minute episode, episode 4, this could have easily been like a subplot in there. I could have easily see that going on, but that was not the case here. I did like seeing, though, this whole group that Tara's a part of. The big question is, are they possibly going to be a threat against Negan? Because we know that they definitely have a vengeance against Negan. You know, his group wiped out most of the men, and that they've kind of gone off on their own since then. Now, we didn't get a name for their group, so I don't really know what they're going to be called, but right now, it seems that all of this is still setting up how the fight against Negan, like, we know this definitely going to happen. We know Maggie wants to go after him. Ezekiel, I think, is eventually going to play a role there, and I think this group as well is definitely going to play a role. Now, right now, we know that Tara's keeping secret. You know, we know that Tara hasn't said anything. You know, so far, she's kept her promise to Cindy and Natania, but the big question is, as we know, Natania didn't want to leave, so I feel like Natania is going to find her. I don't know how, but Cindy, remember, said, I want to make sure you're safe. So was that really just her saying, I want you to be safe, or was it actually her trying to, instead of her saying, I want you to be safe, was it actually her trying to spy on her so she can get it back to Natania? We don't really know, but it seems like Natania's someone who wants to be in control. She is a controlist. She makes, control freak and everything. She wants to make sure that she stays in control, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with that. The big question here is Heath. We don't know if Heath is dead or not. I'm going to say he's not dead because, again, we didn't see him die, so I don't want to say that he's dead. I don't think he's dead, but we'll have to see. That's going to be very interesting. I did like hearing about Tara's backstory. It's been a long time since we've heard about that. Was back in season 4. Like, it's been a long time since Tara's really had anything that substantial to do, and I like that she did find out that Rosita's dead. Denise is dead. The big question right now with Rosita, we know that Rosita wants, she went to Eugene, asked him to make that bullet for her. Is she going to try to get Tara to combat against Negan? We don't really know. That's going to be very interesting. It looks like next week we're going to focus more on the Saviors and Negan. It looks like we're actually going to have a necessary 90-minute episode. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. While I am enjoying this season, I really do want to start seeing things pick up because 6 episodes in, still not a ton going on. We're getting all these backstories, and right now, there's so many stories that when we get to everything intertwining, I think things are going to get very convoluted. Like, I could very quickly see things getting very convoluted. I know they're trying to make it, like I said, a Game of Thrones type show where everyone's kind of in their own direction. I don't really know if that was the direction to go with this season. I honestly don't know, especially when you have Negan on the poster and he's only been 2 episodes. I get that the threat of Negan is looming over every episode, but he's only been in 3 episodes so far of the 6. It's kind of surprising that he has been, but he looks like he's back next week. We'll have to see. I think next week's definitely going to be very interesting. But either way, guys, I'm going to guys saw this episode. Really not a ton to say. As The Walking Dead goes on this season, I have less and less to say about it, mainly because of how much more interesting Westworld is, which I will see, guys, in my next review for that. I have so much to say about that episode, and we'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.